As the economy is finally opening back up, companies are now facing their next issue because companies are facing the quote, great resignation, where people are leaving their jobs. What's up everybody, I'm Jaspreet Singh from theminoritymindset.com, where money minds rethink rich. When the pandemic first hit in 2020, companies were blindsided. They didn't know what to do because all of a sudden in the blink of an eye, the entire economy was shut down. People were told not to leave their homes, and so companies stopped making money, they stopped running, and companies just shut down. Then slowly the economy started to open back up, but companies had to meet a whole bunch of pandemic protocols, and so they weren't able to go back to full capacity. Then as the pandemic started to get better, people felt more comfortable going outside, and then companies had a hard time finding new employees because now you had all these government benefits giving people unemployment benefits for not working, and so companies were not able to find more employees because now they're having to compete not just against other companies but also against the government to give people an incentive to come and work for them. Now companies are about to go through the next wave of this struggle because of something coined as quote the great resignation, which is where now lots of employees are realizing that they don't like where they work, or that they could have a better opportunity, or that they want to fulfill a different dream. And so now you have a lot of people that are beginning to leave their jobs looking for something better, and so now companies are really struggling because they're realizing that they have not provided for the employees the way that they should have in the past. Now before I get into what's going on with this great resignation, I need you to do me a quick favor and smash that thumbs up button below, and if you haven't already, be sure to join our brand new free Discord server where you can chat with other minority mindset thinkers. You can chat about the stock market, the real estate market, building wealth, cryptocurrency, and all things minority mindset. So if you haven't already joined our free minority mindset community, we call it the Guac Talk server because as you already know, extra guac is truly a symbol of extra wealth. You can do it by clicking the link in the description below. Axios put out an article talking about the great resignation, and essentially what it says is that economists and different companies have been researching companies and employees through this pandemic, and it looks like right now that somewhere between 20 and 40% of workers are thinking about quitting their jobs because they're not happy with their work. Economists are saying that essentially during this pandemic, people had more time and more space to themselves, and they started asking themselves, is this job really what I want to be doing? And many people are realizing, or have realized through this pandemic, that they are doing something that is not fulfilling them, and now many people are really starting to question if their current job is right for them and is really fulfilling for them. And I think there's multiple different factors at play here, because it's not just what you do, it's also how you do it. Like I have a friend who is an engineer, and before this pandemic started, we would always joke about having the ability to work from home because he likes traveling, and he would always talk about how he wished that there was an engineering job that allowed him to work from home, and he's tried searching for these engineering jobs for years, and he's never been able to find a proper work from home engineering job that paid a decent salary. Well, now as soon as the pandemic hit, he was allowed to work from home for the first time in history, and now he tells me that he's spoiled. He is not willing to go back into the office. He needs a work from home job now, and now that he has that flexibility, he's only going to look for jobs that allow him to work from home. That way he could travel and work remotely from different places around the globe. So on one side of things, this pandemic allowed people to realize what kind of lifestyle they want to live. Some people want to go to an office every single day. This is something they need, it's something they crave, and if they don't have that, they don't feel like they're working, they don't feel like they're doing anything productive. Other people, they don't want that. They want the exact opposite. They want to never have to go into the office again, and now because of this pandemic, you kind of have the flexibility to find jobs that give you that full remote life. Other people, they want a hybrid. They want the ability to go into an office, but they also want the ability to work from home. So this pandemic showed us that there's many different ways to work. But now, because of the economy, where you have millions of people that are not working, and you have lots of companies that are looking for work but cannot find work, which is a very strange situation because we have so many people out of a job, and we have so many companies that need employees, they're just not working because either people are scared of getting sick or because people are happy with their unemployment benefits, although a lot of unemployment benefits are starting to come to an end. But eventually it's going to come to the point where people are going to have to go back to work. And now, as people go back to work, they're going to have to decide, okay, what kind of lifestyle do I want to live when I go back to work? But now the next issue is the people that have been working through this entire pandemic. Some of these people are not happy with the way they were treated, or they're not happy with their jobs, or they're not happy with their lifestyle through this pandemic. If you worked in a grocery store and your best friend worked in an office, well, when this pandemic hit, chances are you continue to work, you might not have gotten many raises, and you busted your butt through this pandemic to continue getting paid, while your best friend who worked in an office might have had 4 months off with an extra bonus because the government was giving you bigger unemployment checks. And so you're kind of wondering, what the heck is going on here? Why am I working so hard to make less money than my friend who's sitting on their butt playing video games every day, who's making more money from the government, and you're the one that's working to earn money to pay taxes to fund these checks? I think a lot of younger people, especially under the age of 45, have pretty much decided that they need a work-life environment that really suits their lives now. So a lot of people are looking for a hybrid work life where they have the ability to work from home when they want, and they have the ability to go into the office or go into some sort of workplace whenever they want. And a lot of companies, at least the newer age companies, are starting to realize that, while some of the older companies are not, and they're going to be the ones paying the price. See, the thing is, people don't mind working if they enjoy what they do and if what they're doing kind of aligns with their lifestyle. But if you hate what you do and you have to sit in the office for 8 or 9 hours every single day and you're only doing 2 or 3 hours worth of work, you just feel like you're wasting your time, you're wasting your day because you're just sitting there. And the reason why you have to be in the office and why it takes so long is because anytime you go to the bathroom, you gotta have a random conversation with Sally along the way, and anytime you go back, you gotta have a conversation with Bob, and you gotta sit there, you gotta eat lunch at the table. And so you feel like this kind of corporate factory setting, and that isn't really productive for a lot of people. What people want now is the ability to work throughout the day whenever they want, to take care of their kids in the middle of the day if they need to go to the grocery store in the middle of the day if they need to go to the gym in the middle of the day if they need to, but then be able to work kind of in increments whenever they need to, as long as they're getting the work done. So that means people are looking for not just what they're doing, but also the lifestyle that the work provides. Like what we're doing here at Minority Mindset is we've been fully remote for just over a year, and starting in September 2021, we're gonna go to a virtual first system where people have the ability, our team members have the ability to come into the office whenever they want. There's not gonna be any designated desks. You can sit wherever you want, and you can work from home whenever you want. So there's not gonna be any rules where you have to be in the office or you have to work from home. You kind of have the flexibility to do what you want, but the big thing is you just gotta make sure you're getting the work done. Our work is still there. The work is still gonna be busy, but now at least you can choose when you wanna work and how you wanna work and where you wanna work. Honestly, I think this shift is one of the best things to come out of this pandemic, because a lot of people were kind of living like zombies. You wake up, you go to the office, you sit there for 10 hours, you come home, you eat dinner, you go to sleep, and you start it up the next morning. Now at least you have the ability to kind of choose how you want to live your life. Yeah, maybe you want to go to your office Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can travel and work. You can work from home with the kids. You can do something else. So you kind of have that flexibility to choose how you want to do that. And we never had the ability to do that until this pandemic, which is kind of crazy, but I mean, that's kind of just the way the world works. On the financial side of things, the thing that I'm really kind of paying attention to and the thing that I'm really interested in is how this is going to affect real estate. Because we already saw that when the pandemic first hit, a lot of people moved out of big cities and then they moved to suburbs because they bought a home where they could have an office and a yard, and then they could just work from home. And so the first thing I want to see is, in the United States itself, what's going to happen to the big cities? If people are not going back to the office every single day, how is that going to affect restaurants? Because a lot of these restaurants thrived on people going into the office and then coming there to eat during lunch. So if people are not going back into the office like normal, are they going to be eating lunch at these restaurants like normal? And if not, how are these restaurants going to be able to survive? So what's going to happen to big cities? Are we going to see rents fall? Are we going to see the demand for these big cities fall? That's going to be the first thing that I'm paying attention to. The second thing that I really want to keep my eye on is international real estate. I have never invested in real estate outside of the United States, and it is something that I've thought about, but now it's even more interesting because you have a group of people that realize that they can work from anywhere in the world because they have a fully remote job. And now if you are earning United States dollars and you can live in Mexico, or you can live in Latin America, or you can live somewhere overseas and you can spend money in pesos, now you're earning dollars, spending pesos, and all of a sudden you're so much more wealthier because living in Mexico is way cheaper than living in the United States. So what I'm interested in paying attention to is, what are people going to do that are fully remote? How many of these people are going to continue to live in the United States, and how many people are going to use this as an opportunity to start living abroad? Maybe Mexico, maybe a different country somewhere else. I don't know. I mean, there's so many options, and so people now have an opportunity to travel or at least live temporarily in different parts of the world. And I'm really interested to see how that's going to affect real estate internationally and here, because if we start to see a shrinking demand of people wanting to live here, that won't be good for our real estate market. And finally, the last thing that I want to pay attention to is what's going on with all the people that are going to lose their unemployment benefits as states end these extra unemployment programs, because now you're going to have millions of people that suddenly are going to start looking for a job. And right now, a lot of companies are having to really throw out a whole bunch of incentives with sign-up bonuses and higher wages to get people to work for them. And so now, if you have a lot of people suddenly that start looking for a job all at once, and companies have a whole bunch of applicants, are we gonna start seeing these sign-up bonuses go away? Are we gonna start to see wages come back down? So it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens, because this is a very strange economy. And of course, I'll be keeping you posted on our channel, which is why if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that. If you enjoyed this video, here's a video on things that you should not do when you get paid that I think you'll love, and while you're at it, download our free money management PDF, and as always, keep hustling. You need to understand that this doesn't always mean that you should just avoid banks or never use them. That means you need to know how banks work. That way you can use banks to your advantage.